Hey guys, I'm Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a yoga flow to work on lower back strength. So just a quick little note on this. The lower back muscles are part of the muscles that make up our core. And a lot of times when we work core, we really think about working on the abs, but we don't always work on the low back. So we might be missing a part of our core stability. So it's really important to work on lower back strength as well to keep our spine stable. So for today, you don't really need any props at all unless you like blocks for a forward fold. That would be the only thing that you would really need props for, but otherwise you just need your mat. So we're gonna start on all fours. Okay, starting on all fours, as always, make sure your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips. Let's move through some cat-cows to warm up the spine. So drop the spine down for cow, look up, and arch the back up for cat. Arch through the upper back more than the lower back, and drop back down into cow. Move through cat, drop down cow. Let's do two with the breath. Inhale cat, exhale cow. Inhale cat, exhale cow. Come back to neutral and breathe. So keep your spine in neutral. Put the weight into your right hand. Reach your left arm forward and hold here. Keeping yourself stable, and don't let yourself shift and open to the left. You want to make sure your hip points are staying facing the ground. Start to drag your right foot back, toes on the ground. Either stay here or option to lift the right leg up. Hold and breathe. Keep the right toes pointing down to the floor. Don't let them turn out to the side. If you feel like you're rocking side to side, maybe just keep the right foot down. And lower back down. Switch sides. Weight in the left hand, right arm reaches out in front. Hold. Pull the abs gently in this position to keep yourself stable. Keep a slight bend in the left elbow. Drag the left foot back, toes on the ground. Either stay here or option to lift that left leg up. One straight line. Breathe here. Extend through your fingertips, through the back heel to really make yourself long. Keep the left toes pointing down to the floor and lower back down. Let's do that one more time on each side. Weight in the right hand, left arm reaches up and hold. This isn't necessarily more or less challenging than lifting the leg up, it just challenges you a little differently. Drag the right foot back, toes on the ground. Option to stay here or option to lift that right leg up and hold. Already feeling the core kick in, the low back muscles and the abs. One more breath. Release the hand and leg. Weight in the left hand, right arm reaches out. Hold here. Drag the left foot back. Either keep that foot down or lift the left leg up. Hold and breathe. Keep your chin slightly tucked as well to keep the neck in neutral. One more breath. And relax down. Tuck under your toes, lift your knees up, and start to send your hips back into our first down dog. In down dog, keep the hips lifting up to the sky. So if you need the knees bent to do so, feel free. Press through the hands. Bring your left foot to the center line. Step your right foot forward. Drop the back left heel down with the foot at a 45-degree angle and lift up into warrior one. So right knee's bending, hip points are turning and facing forward. Arms straight up. Breathe. Bring your hands down at your sides, squeeze your shoulder blades together so the arms are actually back a little bit, and then you're going to lean forward just a little bit toward the right leg. As you lean forward, think about the right hip pulling back in space. Tuck your chin, breathe, pull the abs in a little bit. Keep your spine straight. And lift back up into warrior one, arms up. Drop your hands back down to border your right foot and step back to down dog. Same thing on the other side. Left foot steps forward, drop the right heel down, right foot at a 45-degree angle, and lift up for warrior one on the left. Breathe here. Keep those hip points pointing forward. So your left hip is pulling back in space to keep the hip points forward. Bring the hands down, slightly behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together so your palms are facing each other. And from here, start to lean forward. As you lean forward, pull that left hip back in space. Tuck your chin to keep your neck in neutral. Breathe here. As you lean forward, keep your spine straight. One more breath. Lift your arms back up, warrior one. Drop your hands down. Step back to plank and move through your vinyasa. I'll modify with you on the first one. So to modify, drop the knees down to the mat, lower down to the floor, lift the upper torso up into baby cobra, and then tuck your toes underneath you, send your hips back into down dog. Breathe here. Look forward. Start to walk your feet up to the front of your mat. Once you get there, roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time to come up to standing. Step one foot back to be in a wide leg pose or wide leg position with the legs, so it doesn't really matter which way. We're gonna do half prasarita kind of position, so it's gonna be nice to work the low back. So you're gonna have your feet wide, slight bend in the knees. You don't want a lot of a bend, but you don't want them just locked out, so the knees are soft. Hands on your hips, toes are pointing forward, okay? Now you're in position. You're gonna start to lean forward. As you lean forward, keep your spine straight. So lean forward, spine stays straight. You're gonna lean halfway down. You'll feel the glutes kind of kick on too here to hold and stabilize you. And then from here, lift yourself back up. That's stage one, is keeping the hands on the hips. Okay, we'll make it a little bit more challenging. Hands on the hips again, hinge those hips forward, spine stays straight, neck in neutral, lowering about halfway down. You can also pull the abs in a little bit. The abs and low back work together in a lot of these poses. If you want the next stage, bring your arms out into like airplane arms. So the hands are straight out from your shoulders. Spine still stays straight. Neck in neutral. Breathe. Place your hands on your hips and lift yourself back up to standing. We have one more variation to make this a little more challenging, but stay with wherever you're at today. This is your practice. Hands on your hips to start. Stand up nice and tall, spine straight, belly slightly in. Start to hinge forward again, halfway down, and hold here. So, you can take any of the first options. You can stay here with the hands on the hips. You can move the arms out into airplane, or you can reach your hands forward, straight out with your arms by your ears. Thumbs up to the sky, hold and breathe. Keep that spine straight. One more breath here. If your hands are out, bring your hands back on your hips. Stand up nice and tall. Reach your hands overhead and fold forward, everyone, for Prasarita Padottanasana, wherever you're at. If you like to use blocks here, that's where you might want them. If you can't reach the floor with your knees straight, you can kind of have a bend in your knees, or you can kind of stop a little bit further up on the legs, wherever you're at. But here you can kind of let go. Let the low back muscles relax. A nice way to deepen your forward folds is to give yourself a little bit of an abdominal contraction. So gently pulling the abs in toward the spine will increase that stretch and that forward fold a little bit more. Wherever you're at, go ahead and bring your hands back onto your hips, and we're going to lift up like we have been doing before, keeping the spine straight as you lift up to standing. Turn your feet to face the front of the mat and step forward into Tadasana. Let's move through a vinyasa. You can modify it by dropping the knees and going into low cobra instead of chaturanga, or we could do one with chaturanga together. So everyone, inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, hands on the floor or the shins. Exhale, step back to plank, lower to chaturanga or drop to the knees. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And exhale, down dog. Breathe here. Really send those hips up to the sky. To keep the upper spine flat, there's a tendency that we want to like press an arch through the spine, extending, but you actually want to keep it flat. Drop your knees down and lower yourself to your stomach. We're all going to do low cobra here, so work on some low back strengthening. So your hands are going to be directly underneath your shoulders. We're going to lift up. We're not really going to use our hands. We're placing them there, but we're not pressing into our hands. So lift up your upper torso. So your chest lifts up off the floor. Neck in neutral, so you're still gazing at the floor. Breathe here. So when you do it this way, you really work the low back instead of just pressing into the hands. Keep your shoulders squeezing down and back. And try your best to keep your legs relaxed. Go ahead and lower back down. Place one hand on top of the other. Rest your forehead down for a minute. Relax and breathe. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers for Shalabhasana. So straighten your elbows, lift, squeeze, straighten your elbows, squeeze the shoulders down and back, lift the chest, lift the legs, tuck your chin. Hold it. Breathe here. We're going to do 3 more breaths. One more. Relax down. One hand on top of the other. You could switch if you had the right on top last time, then do the left. And relax your forehead down. Take a moment. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press back to all fours. Bring your feet together and your knees wide and sit back into a wide leg child's pose. Hands out in front. Forehead rests on the earth. Start to walk your hands back toward your leg. cross your legs behind you and sit back onto the mat. And whatever way you want, roll yourself back down onto your back. If you want to roll one vertebrae at a time and work the abs a little, you can do this way. Okay. Once you're there, we're going to take a supine twist. Let's open the arms into cactus today for our twist. So the elbows are bent, and you're going to drop the knees over to the right and hold here. Keep that space in your torso. Keep the left arm relaxing on the earth. I'd rather us just stay here today in this supine twist instead of taking any of the deeper variations, just because we're working more on strengthening today. We don't want to undo all the stability and strengthening that we were working on. Bring the legs back up and drop them over to the other side. Breathe here. Bring the legs back up. Place your hands down at your side. Let's take a bridge to neutralize. Lift your hips up. If you'd like to clasp your hands underneath you, bring the shoulders under you. You can to lift a little higher. And relax down. Start to straighten your legs out for Shavasana, brief Shavasana. Make sure those shoulders are tucked underneath you to keep the chest nice and open. And let everything relax. Your feet can relax out to the sides. And sometimes it's also nice to like straighten through the arms for a moment, like reach to their fingertips and then let them drop down and relax, and you get like a little more length. So close down your eyes. Resting here. If you need in Shavasana, you could always place a pillow underneath your knees so they would be slightly bent. If that feels better for your low back, that's always an option. So resting here, attention on the breath, letting everything go. Let's especially bring our attention to the low back muscles and try to just let them relax. Start to bring your awareness back into your body by wiggling your fingers and toes. Bring your legs together, extend your hands up, make yourself really long. Bend your knees and roll to whichever side you'd like. I like to roll to the right side because that is a nice way to re-energize the body. But you can do whichever Arms straight out on the bottom to rest your head. Press your hands into the floor to walk yourself back up to sitting in easy pose. Sukhasana. Hands at heart center. Thank yourself for all the hard work that you did today. Namaste. Thank you for doing that yoga flow with me today. If you guys have any suggestions on any specific yoga flows that you want to see in the future, feel free to let me know in the comments below. That's all I have for you guys today. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button right below me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.